It is dressage day. So that means platting, that means immaculately clean ponies and smartness all round, which we will try to achieve, but we'll see what happens. So today I'm doing the prelim, and it's actually quite complicated for a prelim. I should know it. I'm quite good at remembering things, so I should be okay. We managed to run through it in an arena a couple days ago, and when I tell you my whole body aches after that, I mean it. I generally don't do dressage, I never really ride in that way, so my body is not used to it and I'm in a lot of pain. So, we'll just push through today. Popsy, you're just so cute. You're just so cute. His ears are so fluffy. They look like little hedgehogs. Little fluffy hedgehogs. Right, I'm supposed to be packing the car. Oh, that is dirty. Dirty. We actually have quite a lot of white numbers, I don't know why. Okay, I've got 3 white numbers. Put that in the car. I've got treats, saddle, bridle, girth, numbers, hat, treat. Oh, and I've got my show jacket and... oh, I need a hairnet, that's what I need. Zoom, you can't come, I'm afraid. Oh, sorry, did they make you jump? She's still there. I'm not sure why. Hi! Do you like it, Pops? Do you like your new hairstyle? Oh yeah. Good boy. It's hard work being so cute, isn't it, buddy? It is. Yeah. It's hard. It's tiring. Yeah. Yeah. You're so cute. Yeah. That is one stable mucked out. Check. And now I'm going to go get the pony and brush him. Last night when he came in, he was absolutely filthy, but because he's going out again this morning because it's late enough, I was like, there's no point in brushing him tonight because he's just going to go and get muddy again today. But I'm hoping he's not more muddy than he was yesterday, because otherwise it's going to take me a while, and you know, mud doesn't really come out. They can still look grubby, so just gotta hope he's not too bad. Right, here is the mud monster himself. Take a good look at that, all down the neck. That on the legs, on the back legs. Wow. It's quite something, isn't it, Yoda? You're a bit camera shy today. Quite something. The beast is contained. He is actually filthy, so I may have to bath him. I was hoping not to have to. I thought I might just be able to brush it off, but looking at the state of him, I'm thinking we may need some water involved here. Sleepy popcorn. Hello again. I thought I'd do you guys a voiceover for the test, and I'll read you out the score that I got from the judge and their comments as well. Now, I'm not against saying that I think this test was quite harshly marked. Looking at the event photographer's photos, he was the only horse who was actually working in an outline. But all dressage judges are looking for something different, and maybe we just didn't have that thing. So for coming down the centre line, we got a 7, and they said good turn, fairly straight. I did do a couple of laps beforehand because he was very tense when he came in. You can see I'm kind of having to convince him to concentrate as I come down the centre line. So like I said, as he came in, he was quite tense and quite distracted, so I'm just working to get him relaxed, a bit more flowy and a bit more focused on what we're doing. So this was a half circle 15 metres and returning to the track at H, and we got a 6.5 for this, and they said a little more bend through the body. He had never been in this arena before, and the door as it opened and shut was quite rattly, and that spooked him a bit, so he was just a bit on edge, but that did get better as the test went on. At C was a 20 metre circle with a give and retake of the reins when crossing the centre line, and we got a 7 for this, and they said a clear give and retake, circle could be rounder, which I totally agree with. I'm not going to lie, I forgot I was doing a circle, so I did push into the corners a bit, but I remembered, thankfully. He was getting a lot softer in my hands now and starting to feel like the normal Yoda. The next move was another 15-metre half circle, returning to the track at M. And for this one, we got a 7, and they said better bend and balance. I also think this one was a much better shape because I had more of a feel for the arena, so I kind of knew the space and I knew how big for it to be. I think there's some really nice moments in the test, and I think we both just need to work on our nerves at competition. He does get very affected by the competition environment, and if I'm nervous and he's nervous, it really just doesn't bode well. But that's something that will come from experience, and he's already loads better than when I first competed him. This was another 20-metre circle with a give and retake. We got a 7, and they said rather brief but clear. Next, we have a change the rein across the diagonal, HXF in working trot. For anyone who may be wondering, this is the 2024 prelim 3. This is the change of rein, and for this we got an 8 with no comments. Further towards the second half of the diagonal, he does just go a little bit overbent. This is something that we are working on. Unfortunately, he is used to being ridden a bit behind the vertical. We're just working on getting a nice, correct, soft head carriage. At A, we have a transition to medium walk. I did overshoot the marker a little bit. We scored a 6, and the comments said very truthfully that we lost some fluency to the steps after K. We had a bit of a misunderstanding, and he thought I was asking him to stop, so I just had to nudge him on, but it was a bit messy. So like they said, we lost our fluency a little bit. This is the score-defining free walk on the long rein, where there is an option to get double marks. However, the next person to come in chose the worst timing to walk up to the door and made lots of hoof noises outside, and so he was very distracted by that and did not want to stretch. So we disappointingly got a 6. He is very capable of doing a lovely, stretchy, loose walk, but it wasn't our day. They also said make sure the stretch is into the contact rather than loose reins, which I have to say I have never come across before. I've always been told that free walk on a long rein is slipping the reins and letting them stretch down with a nice forward walk, but apparently now they're looking for more of a contact within the stretch. Between F and A, transition to working trot, we were marked 7 with no comments. A 20-metre circle, and on the second half of the circle, transition to working canter. Slightly messy transition, but we got a 7 and they said obedient. Then you continue the canter all the way around A, K, E. He was really nice and up in the canter, and I think we maintained quite a nice rhythm throughout. At E, you do a 20-metre circle in canter. We scored a 6.5, and the judge said careful not to lean in. That is very much a show jumping thing. You can tell I'm a jump-off girl at heart. I just need to remember to change that when I'm doing different disciplines. The canter here gets a little bit flat as we finish off the circle. Luckily, the judge didn't seem to pick up on this, but I did not ride my corners very well down on this end because I was stressing that he was going to try to do a flying change as we cantered across the diagonal. So for the transition to working trot over X, we got a 6.5, and they said he was falling left in the transition, so lost a bit of balance. I think this is possibly because I was so focused on keeping right bend as I came across the diagonal, so he didn't try to change. Here's another 20-metre circle with a transition to working canter in the second half of the circle. We got an 8 for this, and they said super transition, which I totally agree with. Very good boy, Yoda. My sincerest apologies if I am boring you to death. This is a very long dressage test. I do understand that. Here we have another 20-metre circle in canter. We got a 7, and they said better balance this way. We need to take a moment to appreciate how smart Yoda looks when he's been clipped. He just looks like the most super little competition pony. Little do they know he spends most of his time leaping around bridleless and doing Spanish walk for treats. So around we go again for the second change the rein in canter with a transition to working trot over X. For this one we got a 7, and they said keep the balance over leading leg in transition. I have now been made aware that canter to trot transitions is something we need to work on. Round the next corner is where I sort of went wrong, sort of didn't. So it's supposed to be a half circle between K and E in trot, allowing the horse to stretch. And what I did, very simply, was thinking the circle was supposed to be between E and H. But we did manage to get a little bit of a stretch when I first let his head down. Like I said previously, Yoda is capable of doing the most lovely stretches, but we did get a blowout towards the end. For that we got a 7, and they did comment that the circle should have started before E, and they said we had a fair stretch. Next we come down at the centre line, and I have to say I was really pleased with how well I timed that turn, but we got a 6.5, and the judge commented that we overshot the centre line and we had a nice square hole. I guess it's difficult to see the turn from this angle, and the judges do get a head-on view of it, but all in all, lots of pats for Yoda because he was a very good boy. Alright, it's a pile of leaves. You're okay. We're back home now, we just got back. He went so nicely in the warm-up. He was really nice and relaxed. He was forward, but he wasn't like too forward. He was going really nicely, he was really rhythmical, all of that stuff. And then as we went up to the indoor, as they opened the door, it made a big like rattle, and that set him off. So he was terrified of that. And the indoor is quite like enclosed. So, you know, it's all a bit scary. We don't go to indoors very often. Obviously he's been in them before, but Yoda's one who will get spooked by anything no matter how many times he's seen it. So it was a bit much. The test went well, but it was a bit tense and a bit, steady, you're okay. And a bit excited. Obviously it's winter, so everything's going to be a bit like this now. We actually came third, which is good. We got 68%, I think. So I'm just going to put rugs on him and put him out so we can have another little hour in the field before he comes in for the night. Yeah. It's about 45 minutes later. For you it was a matter of seconds, but as you can see, it is darker. I'm coming to get Yoda back in again. Thank you for watching this vlog. Next we have the phase I've been most excited for, which is the arena cross country / working hunter. I have a feeling he's going to be very fresh, but that is in 2 weeks, so I will see you then.